We're in New York, concrete jungles where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Oh my God. What's going on, guys? So, I am back with my recap and review for The Real Housewives of New York City. I don't know why I'm such in a sing-songy mood, but I am. I guess because I'm feeling good. The sun is finally out, even though it is 5:30 where I am. Nonetheless, I hope you guys are doing well. And let's get right into the recap and review, shall we? So this is still season 14. This is episode 4, the most interesting girl in the room, y'all. The most interesting girl in the room was Bryn this week. I will say this episode sparked my interest a bit more. I started to lose a little interest last week. I can't even lie. I started to lose a little interest. I was a little bit over it. And that's just because it just got a little like boring, for an episode or two. It was, the drama was given a little bit too superficial, but we are back, I think, in full swing. I was, pretty much thoroughly pleased with the entirety of this episode. So if I had to rate it on a scale of like 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 7. I'd give it a respectable 7. Y'all let me know what you guys would have rated it in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like the video on your way in. Shout outs to the replay gang. Don't forget to get down in those comments so we can talk about, the episode and you guys' thoughts, feelings, and opinions, of my commentary and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's always appreciated because I comment back. Don't forget to share me with your friends, your family, your in-laws, your cousins, everybody. Don't forget. Hey, Bernie Raves, how are you doing today? You'd probably give it a 7? Okay. I'm not gonna lie. The last couple episodes I was on the fence, but this episode definitely picked it up. So nonetheless, let me drop this down. If y'all want to see my face, I don't mind coming on screen. There I am. There I am. Okay, so we are still in the Hamptons. We're still in the Hamptons. But nonetheless, we were only in Hamptons for about 5 minutes. So I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because I was like, I just want to get back to the city. I need to be in the city. Like, why are we still in the Hamptons? Like, it was, I guess, is this going to be the cast trip? Or are we like taking things slow? On the other franchises I watch, Atlanta, Dubai, freaking. I watched Salt Lake City until this last season. I don't really watch it too much anymore. Potomac, like on those seasons, obviously we take trips, right? So is this going to be the trip? Like, are we keeping it down here since this is the new, reboot and all that? I'm assuming maybe, whatever. Nonetheless, I was just like a little bit bored after a while. I really wanted to just hurry up and get back to the city. So I was like, oh my gosh, thank God we're back in the city. I'm doing well. I am good. I'm good today. This is the last time you guys will be seeing my face. My Bell Collective review will be preparing tomorrow. But this is the last time you guys will be seeing my face. I'm good. I gotta go cook dinner after this. So nonetheless, Bryn wakes up next to Aaron. I don't know. There was never a room for Bryn, I guess, because Jenna's room was actually going to go to Bryn, right? Before she left. Whatever. Bryn woke up in the bed with Aaron. So I thought that was cute. That was funny. They head downstairs and Sai is ready to eat. Sai is me when it comes to that. Like, I need my food on time. I get hungry real fast. I like to eat, especially breakfast. If you didn't know, now you know breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. Okay. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. So your girl wants her waffles. She wants her toast. She wants her biscuits. She wants her scrambled eggs with cheese. Okay. With cheese. Oh, thank you. That just made my day. Thank you so much. I had an important video call meeting this morning, so I'm actually, had to spruce up my look. But I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But they're all about to finally have this shakshuka. Have you guys had that before? I've never had it before. I like tomato-based stuff. Like, I like tomato sauce and stuff like that. I don't actually like tomatoes, though. Like, I don't actually care to eat the actual tomato. And it looked as though this was a dish, like, completely made from, like, the actual tomatoes, because Jenna started slicing up tomatoes. And I was like, it looked good, but at the same time, I don't eat tomatoes. So I was like, But anyway, if y'all have had it, let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. So Jenna comes in to help with that. Meanwhile, Jessel and Uba are still upstairs getting decent. Uba has a hot sauce line. I literally had no idea that she had a hot sauce line, and she launched it in June of 2021. And pretty much instantly it was put onto Oprah's favorite things of 2021. If you don't know, Oprah loves to, recap like her favorite items or whatever over the course of a year, and Uba's hot sauce made it onto the list. She says she needed to really just have something that gave her food some flavor when she was traveling, I guess, or whatever. So I think that is so awesome. I didn't know that. We love a multifaceted woman over here. We love to be multifaceted over here. So kudos to you, Uba, for that. I love to see it. Sai wasn't too much of a fan of the shakshuka, but I think she ate it anyway. So everybody's palate, everybody's taste buds are different. So, I mean, I wouldn't have taken offense to that or anything, but it was just funny that she was like the one who was like the most hungry, and she was still kind of like dissatisfied in the end. But they all discuss their plans for Thanksgiving, and this is where it kind of we start to peel back the layers this episode, So I think that's why I had such an appreciation for it, because we kind of seen certain ladies that we didn't really see too much about. We started to see them in different light, we started to see them a little differently. And one of those individuals was Bryn. She lets us know that her parents, they weren't really in the picture growing up. She was raised by her maternal grandmother. She legally adopted them being Bryn, her sister, her brother. So we have that. Save the rest for when she said it later on in the episode. But she'll be heading to London with her ex-fiance, her third ex-fiance. Let me put some respect on it. Third ex-fiance. Okay. Gideon. And according to Aaron, he's a nice Jewish man. Like, she don't see why she don't just get with him. And I think Brandon even makes mention at some point herself, and she's like, yeah, like if it was gonna be somebody, it would probably be him. Like, so don't be surprised, I guess, if we do see them walking down the aisle in the future, I guess, maybe. But after breakfast, all the ladies head off. They're going back to the city. And I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah. I was so freaking happy. And we're finally back to the city, and we dive into what Erin's got going on. We learned in obviously the beginning that Erin is in real estate. She is in real estate much because of her parents. Both her parents were in real estate. And since then, she has, been licensed since she was 19. And by the age of 23, I believe, she had sold 4 buildings on site. NYSE. Like I thought that was awesome. And her real passion, though, however, is in construction. So throughout this entire time when she's telling us this, she's like in somebody's newly renovated space, overseeing the project and all that. And because of that, that's kind of what was the inspiration behind her business called Homegirl, which I was like, that is a really cool name. I really like that. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I would have thought of that first. And with that business, she designs properties for her clients, so that they don't just start these renovation projects that obviously cost a lot of hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes, obviously into the millions. And they don't just start them without having, the proper direction, or she's able to completely curate a space, I guess, based on her clients' aspirations and how they envision the space. She brings it to life. So I think that was totally awesome. She's in there. It was a whole construction site, honey. And she lets us know she works really hard, and she still makes time for her family, though, family and friends. And because of what she deals with on a daily basis, it makes her very intolerant to BS. And I was like, I saw a lot of myself in Erin at that moment. Like I really did, because I feel like as of late, I've been that person that's just been kind of like, I don't know, not like I'm not like I wouldn't want to say on edge, but I've just been very, very hypersensitive to people like coming at me sideways, or just, like she said, BS lately. And I think when you just have so many other things going on that occupy space in your mind and your focus and all that, you're going to be very susceptible to, freaking nipping things in the bud when they appear to be of BS. When they appear to be BS in nature. I totally understood that. So next scene we get is Brynn. She's heading to the salon in her very, very cute coat. I was like, actually, I literally have that coat in my, like in my screenshots or whatever, like in my wish list. And I was like, see, I knew I liked Brynn. I knew I freaking liked Brynn. And after this episode, y'all, I like Brynn even more. Okay, I like Brynn even more. And she's heading to the salon. She goes to the salon every week. And this is kind of the introduction into her confirming that, she is biracial. And I kind of thought that, like, I kind of thought that in some of the scenes, like, I was like, okay, like I saw, oh, yep, makes sense. I get it. That's totally awesome. Her mom was white. Her dad was black. Like I said before, her mom's mom is who raised her. So, and she was white as well. So because of that, she never really had a direct connection to the Black community and to that side, like, of her identity. So at a young age, like, she kind of, I guess she didn't really know where she, I guess, maybe fit in. And that caused her to kind of feel embarrassed to admit that she was Black when she was younger, that she was biracial, and I really like that vulnerability, and it gave us a lot of insight into why she may come off the way she comes off, and why, the holidays are a sensitive time for her. People don't know, like, sometimes you don't think, because, like, if you are someone who is usually surrounded by a whole bunch of family and stuff around those times, sometimes you forget, like, wow, like, yeah, it can be very, it might not look that way for other people. You think, obviously, holidays, like, oh, joy and happiness and all this, but that's not always the case for some other people. And I really appreciated how in this episode, the other ladies kind of catered to, to Brynn and, like, her needs and stuff in that time, which was, hey, we really, want to see her succeed. We really want her to not feel alone right now. Like, I think that's really awesome when they can band together on the show like this, because we don't get to see that a lot, y'all. We don't get to see that on a lot of these franchises. We see a lot of discourse and people not really caring about each other. So I think that that's really awesome, and I hope they keep that up. But she's at the salon. She visits the salon every week. I think I already said that. And this, from an early age, her going to the salon was her only means of like exposure to the Black community, to that side. And again, at one point, she was embarrassed to say that she was Black out of fear of how it would be received. And she lets us know, though, in her 40s, like, she's got beautiful hair, y'all. Very, very beautiful hair. But she was never educated as to, I guess, how to care for her hair texture. It is very it's yeah, like, she is biracial, so of course, you know, we have to take, like, she has Black hair, and we got to take care of our hair a little bit differently than this person over here or that person over here. And if you do not get the education in learning how to take care of your hair texture, there's going to be a disconnect there. And I think that was awesome, though. At the same time, I think her grandmother just was doing it obviously to alleviate the stress on herself, but she I guess was able to still kind of find at least somewhat of a link to the Black community. And I think that that's awesome. And then after that, we head over to Uba's apartment in Columbus Circle. Her friend / mentor stops by. Oh, hi, my sis. How are you? How are you today? If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my sis, California Cutie. If you were still in here, go ahead and drop your link as always. And as she said, like the video. If you have not already, we appreciate likes over here. Very much so. Actually, you just reminded me. Boom. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'm so corny, y'all. But we're at Uba's apartment, and during this sit down, she kind of opens up about like the cultural like struggles she's endured, and like as it pertains to operating her business and just, you know, trying to navigate her career as a young adult, or, you know, all that. We all need support in some fashion, y'all. We do. And Uba has been struggling, I guess, with getting support in certain areas because her mother, we find out that her mother unfortunately passed away in 2012. And that really, really has an effect on her, because a lot of things that she would like to go to her mother for, she cannot. And that's something I even empathize with, that, you know, you wish that your mom was closer. I live literally, I don't even know how many miles California is from Jersey, but like my mom lives in New Jersey. I live in California. And even with that, there's a lot of times that, yeah, I wish that my mom was closer or whatever. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys can probably empathize with that. So I totally understood that and appreciated her vulnerability as well during the scene. You know, she speaks about her mom was the boss. She was basically, I guess, you know, like the matriarch of the family. So of course that caused a lot of devastation, losing her. I know, you know, we know that she's cousins with Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai, but I don't know. I don't know, like, if she has any other family in the States or whatever, because even Chanel lives in Dubai. So like, I don't know who her next closest person would be, like familial relationships wise. But again, nothing's gonna replace, you know, your mom. So it was I felt for her. I really did in this scene. But after that, we head over to Sai's house, and she again is empathizing with Bren, because we know that Sai also grew up not a lot of money, very, very humble upbringing. And that's something that she sees a lot, I guess, in herself in Brynn, because Brynn also grew up not the best upbringing. She had to deal with a lot of hardships at an early age, and that is, something that they can bond over, of course. It's kind of traumatic, obviously, trauma bonding, but still, it's nothing. I feel like even if something is traumatic, it's nothing like feeling like you're being understood by somebody else who's gone through something similar like that. Like, it's just different, y'all. It's different. It hits different. It probably sounds a little dark, but yeah, like suffering and hard times really can bring people together, and that's a different type of bond, I want to say. Like, anyway, yes, almost 3,000. Thank you for giving me that information. Almost 3,000 miles away. So with that being said, it really is not it's not a good feeling to feel as though you don't have that maternal figure, or someone just to lean your head on and cry on their shoulder or anything like that. It definitely sucks. So I think that's probably the most impactful point of this episode for me was yeah, I think so. So y'all, she FaceTimes Brynn, who is totally down for doing a Friendsgiving. She wants to do a Friendsgiving for Brynn because she's never had probably a Thanksgiving where she really had a whole bunch of family around her, because she even lets us know, like, her family's still around. She don't mess with them. They don't mess with her. And it's just left at that. So I think that it was a really, really awesome idea to kind of just try to bring her in the fold so she doesn't feel left out, because she's somebody that usually just kind of breaks off and does her own thing during the holidays. Not even probably because she wants to, but by force. And I say that because in the beginning we find out the only really reason why she finds a way to kind of attach herself to, like, a lot of her exes, like, in their families and stuff like that, because she's literally longing for that bond. And we've seen that, honestly, think back on it, we've seen that even since episode 1, where she was like, she first got to Si's house, she's like, oh, this is what I aspire to have, and like, as far as her kids and her husband and all that, like, it totally makes sense now. So she's totally down. We're excited to see it. And I also appreciated the input that David, Sai's husband, gave during this situation as well. We love the husbands for the most part on Housewives, because I can name a couple other ones: Ralph, Mark, Michael. I had to think, because there's a lot, but there's a lot of ones we don't like. But David from Real Housewives of New York City, Sai's husband, so far so good. Ain't got nothing bad to say about him. And even Jessel's husband, Pavitt. So far, all the husbands are good in my book on this show. That could change at any given moment. Y'all know, if you've been a diehard Real Housewives fan, that can change at any moment. But so far, so good. So we're gonna keep moving with that. Jessel is still not, like, my favorite person. Jessel's my least favorite person on the cast. I will say that right here and now. She's my least favorite person, and that is because she just cares about what everybody thinks. And I really have a really, really, really strong dislike for people that just speak without. I have a really strong dislike for people that speak without thinking, hey, oh, well, how might my words impact another person, or how might this come across, or whatever. I really, really can't stand people like that just say the first thing that comes out their mouth, and just I really don't like that. You said Apollo and Peter. Yeah, they're on the list. I didn't really. It's almost like Peter did more damage off screen than he did damage on screen too. But the stuff that he's done off screen has just been like, how can you haven't been a house husband in how many years, but you still find a way to make it across our screens and piss us off, like in the blogs? Like, come on now. And stop opening restaurants. Ugh. And pay your taxes. Ugh. No. And Apollo, I mean, we saw that from day one. But yes, those are also very good examples. Very, very no good. Very, very good, no good. So Jessel, she's just like, I don't know. She got a chaotic life. She can't help that. I get that. Her twins, they're 1 year old, and both her and her husband work from home. So one twin's over here on one leg being bounced around, the other twin's on another leg being bounced around. They on Zoom doing whatever. Like, I get it. They don't have a lot of time between them. I got it. I'm not here to scrutinize that. However, what I am going to say is that she needs to be more self-aware, bro. She's not self-aware whatsoever. And even in this situation, her husband had to collect her and had to be like, look, honey, you say things without really thinking about their impact. They come off the wrong way. Like you come off the wrong way very often, and it rubs people the wrong way, your tone of voice and whatever. And she's like, so you call me a bitch? So you're basically calling me a bitch? Like, it's just not clicking. It's not clicking. And it's really quite annoying. And I want to say she said something in the scene as well that was kind of like very, very telling, that all she thinks about is how she comes off to other people. I think when they brought up the whole sex conversation, now she's trying to go and plan like a little, getaway, or she wants to go to Hamptons or whatever. Like, she wasn't thinking about doing nothing or thinking about the state of their sex life or anything with that until someone said something about it, because she doesn't want to look like a loser or look like insert negative title here. She doesn't want to look like that to all the other women in the group. And that's just so corny to me. I hope she doesn't come back right now. Right now, I'm good. I don't need her to come back. Her husband, though, he seems cool. He can come back maybe as a friend of the other husbands. I don't know. But she annoys me. I don't whiny, just oblivious. I don't like people that just go through life just kind of oblivious and just whatever. And I'm like, if opposites could attract, because he apparently is somebody that doesn't care what anybody thinks, and she's somebody who cares what everyone thinks. Like, people like that just make my booty itch. So Jenna stops by Aaron's house, and first of all, Jenna's, I say it every week, and I'm going to continue to say it every week. She comes through with the fashions. I love Jenna's fashions. I want to see Jenna's fashions every week. That sparkly Miu Miu top she had on, I need it to be on my body right now. Like right now. But anyway, apparently they made an agreement, they being Jenna and Jessel. They went shopping the other day, made an agreement that if anything ever comes up, that they would just tell each other right then and there. There wouldn't be any extra this, that, and other thing. They would just tell each other. I'm like, okay, that's good. But Jessel is also feeling some type of way about everybody else getting involved in the whole her not liking lingerie and that whole thing or whatever. I'm like, no, not everybody was getting involved, but you were literally going around the house complaining about how you just look so bad, like a Christmas tree, and how, you didn't like how you looked, and this was the worst thing ever, and da-da-da-da. Like, when you go around people acting like that, of course they're going to look at you and be like, girl, get it together. Like, we don't want to hear that. Especially on a trip. Like, that would have just sucked the whole fun out of everything. She seems like she's a fun sucker. Okay, Jessel the fun sucker. I don't know her last name, but that's what she's giving. Like, she just go home. She should have stayed in the city. She should have came. She's annoying. Can you tell how I feel about her? It takes me a couple episodes to get like activated and get like, okay, but I feel like for 4 episodes in now, I can definitively kind of assess who's who at this point, kind of. And I kind of see in this episode as well that this situation may kind of may have maligned Jenna a little bit, but I don't know. I don't want to speak things into existence because we still have some more episodes to go. I don't know if that happened yet, but I do kind of feel like Jenna might have kind of she might have stirred the pot unintentionally this episode. But apparently Jessel called Aaron and Sai pretty much cackling hags at the house. That's how they were like coming off with the whole thing. And Jenna tells Aaron this. And I'm like, that's what I mean. Like, I think that might come back to bite her because Jess's probably like, why did you go? And I told you something in confidence. Like, why did you go and tell her that? Which honestly, I can't really, unfortunately, I'm going to kind of have to take Jessel's side in this because, Jenna, you probably shouldn't have went back and told Aaron that. But at the same time, classic Housewives-ish. We weren't surprised by that. I knew that was going to happen. I always am. I always am, sis. If I got something to say, I'm going to just say it. And that's how I feel. This is all of my true feelings, y'all. Like it or don't like it. That's just how I felt about the episode. Y'all are entitled to feeling how you want to feel and letting me know how you feel in the comments, though. And I will answer back. But fast forward, Sai's getting ready for the Friendsgiving. I liked her dress. Her look was cute. Brynn comes by first, and she was given back, okay? Like, she had the backless dress. I was like, okay. I used to be like self-conscious about like my back. Like, I have like a birthmark on my back, and I used to be like super self-conscious about that. So I would never want to wear my back out. But now I'm 29 and I don't care. So I would wear that dress. You can send it here. We look like we could probably fit the same size. I'll give you my P.O. box. Send it over here. Brynn, we know that she's always the flirtatious type, right? And she's gonna flirt. If a guy looks single, she's gonna flirt, honey. She's gonna flirt. So immediately when she comes in, the chef, she immediately takes like a little bit of a liking to him and is like, and so I was like, he's married, honey. Back up. And I was like, I mean, that was very on brand with Brynn. I can't fault her for that. Jenna arrives, cool AF. Like, she just looks just cool all the time. Like, I aspire to I want to look cool all the time. Like, I literally just want to look, wow. Like, she just looks cool. Like, that's what I want to be. Anyway, Uba looks like a beautiful disco diva. She is, she has like all gold on. She looks really, really cute. And but Uba, she's beautiful. So it's honestly, when people say, like, oh my God, like, you're so pretty. Like, oh my God, she couldn't be ugly even if she tried or whatever. Like, I feel like that about Uba. Like, even when she was like wearing sweats and stuff like that, she's just very beautiful. They're a good looking cast. Like, they all have their own individual styles and stuff like that. And, I'm a fashion girly. So whenever I see things I like, or I'm always going to clue into the appearance of everything. And yes, just like Bernie said, effortlessly cool. We love it. We appreciate it. It's Jenna Lyons. So The only person's look that I wasn't really here for though was Erin's. She didn't look bad, but she wasn't as like festive as everybody else's. And I'm not saying that I shouldn't even, I feel like a little bad saying that, because at the same time, given the day that Erin had by this point, I'm sure looks and appearances were like the last thing on her mind or whatever, obviously. And I say that because we find out that this was the day of Erin's grandmother's memorial. And when this is honestly, y'all, this is what solidified me disliking Jessel. She does ask, about the memorial and stuff, and that's when we find out, Erin's grandma, she was 94. She was on hospice within 24 hours, and Jessel was like, I didn't write it down, but she said something. She said, I hope today went well, though. Like, after that whole exchange or whatever, she knows, like, oh, because Erin told her all this. She's like, I hope today went well, though. It's just like, what's not, why, huh? Like, no, today didn't go well. And Erin's like, and I commend Erin at this, because at this point, she's probably at the point where she's like, you know what, I can't even like get back. Like, you're just in shock that someone could be that dense and that just lost in the sauce, like that they would just, her emotion, she lacks emotional intelligence. And being emotionally intelligent is something I pride myself on. So when I see people that are just like over here just in la la land, but at the same time you have enough intelligence to know like that what you don't like, and to know how you feel, and to know like, and to clue into how other people's, you clue into how other people think, but you don't necessarily take into account like their feelings and emotions and how you come, like it's not making sense. She doesn't make sense as a person. I don't get it. And then Jessel walks away, and Erin tells Bryn and Uba what Jessel called her inside, which was cackling hags. We know that sometimes with Uba there's like a language barrier. Uba didn't know what cackling hags meant, so they had to explain it to her, like a witchy laugh, like think about witches laughing pretty much, like. And so that gave her a bit of context. And I didn't really think that they were coming off as cackling hags per se, but I wouldn't at this point expect much more from Jessel, so I wasn't surprised. But it's time to eat. The tablescape was nice, and we really start to again peel back more of those layers, and this is when we really kind of dive into the real. And Bryn lets us know she gets very emotional, understandably so. As I said before, her mom was a teen mom and her dad was a bit older. She only lived with them for the first 6 months of her life. And during that time, it was Section 8, it was food stamps, it was not a lot of money. Like it was a very impoverished environment. And apparently her dad got in some trouble that caused, I didn't write it down, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't know if he got incarcerated or they both got incarcerated or what exactly occurred, but all I know is Bryn, her sister, and her brother were left in the home alone, to the point that she had a soiled diaper for, several days. And she wasn't picked up for 6 days, and it really caused a lot of traumatic effects for her. And again, this is why she was then raised from by her grandmother. And like I said before, she has family, but most of them were a-holes. She grew up in Indiana, in around the South Bend area, I want to say. Which, if you don't know where South Bend is, that's where Notre Dame, the school is. One of my girlfriends, she's from there. Shout outs to Nay. How you doing, boo? So it was a lot. It was a lot to unpack with that. And again, I'm really, really glad that we were able to, get more. It gives them more substance. It's not all about aesthetics. It's not all about the drama and this and that and the other thing. But when we can really get and see the real sides of these women's lives, I really enjoy that. So this episode, those type of episodes are always going to be top tier for me over, I don't care how many table flips, how many fashion shows, how many whatever. When we can have real conversations like this and stuff like that. And it's not me saying like, oh yeah, I want to play on people's like trauma and stuff for entertainment, or you need to like share like your deepest, darkest secrets with me just for, just to appease me as a viewer. No, I'm not saying that, but we want to see the real. So this is why I'm going to continue to watch this, New York City, and I hope that we can get some more, we can invite realness back into some of the other franchises. I wish I would have caught the after show, but I didn't. I'm gonna watch it next week though. Hopefully some cool people are on there, because they always kind of, sum up some things there. But all in all, like I said in the beginning, this episode I will give it a 7 out of 10. It was good. It was a good episode. And I hope that we continue to, it was in the beginning, it was like, and then we went kind of, and now we're like up again. I hope we continue to go up, and continuously throughout this season. Jessel, like I said, deuces, you can exit stage left. But in the meantime, y'all, as always, I enjoyed doing this recap and review for you all. Again, if you have not liked the video, make sure you go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me just drop that right there. Make sure you're also following me on social media, because I am very active on social media, mainly Instagram and TikTok, especially. Actually, I need to go ahead once I'm done with this. Gotta edit the TikToks I made earlier and post those. So your girl's always, if she's not on one platform, she's another. So if you guys want to keep up with me, follow me on all of them. And again, shout out to the replay gang. Let's get down in the comments. I enjoyed y'all, and yeah. Thank you guys for listening to me run my trap about the Real Housewives of New York City. I'll see you guys later. Bye.